After an Islamic divorce, who looks after the babies? The mother, you would think, obviously. Everyone should agree on that. Except that in Islam, if the mother remarries, her babies are torn from her bosom and handed to someone else. The same if she decides to leave Islam. There is no compulsion in religion. The Quran explains that a different woman can breastfeed the baby. Quran 65.6. Lodge them in a section of where you dwell out of your means, and do not harm them in order to oppress them. And if they should be pregnant, then spend on them until they give birth. And if they breastfeed for you, then give them their payment, and confer amongst yourselves in the acceptable way. But if you're in discord, then there may breastfeed for the father another woman. Muhammad said that if you remarry, you lose custody. Sunan Abu Dawood, Book 13, Hadith 2269. Amr bin Sha'ub, on his father's authority, said that his grandfather, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, reported, "A woman said, 'Messenger of Allah, my womb is a vessel to this son of mine, my breasts a water skin for him, and my lap a guard for him. Yet his father has divorced me and wants to take him away from me.' The Messenger of Allah said, 'You have more right to him as long as you do not marry.'" Classified as good. And Muhammad makes a 2-year-old decide who should have custody. Sunan Abu Dawood, Book 13, Hadith 2236. Abd al-Hamid ibn Jafar reported from his father on the authority of his grandfather, Rafi ibn Sinan, that he, Rafi ibn Sinan, embraced Islam and his wife refused to embrace Islam. She came to the Prophet and said, "My daughter, she is weaned or about to wean." Rafi said, "My daughter." The Prophet said to him, "Be seated on a side." And he said to her, "Be seated on a side." He then seated the girl between them and said to them, "Call her." The girl inclined to her mother. The Prophet said, "O Allah, guide her." The daughter then inclined to her father, and he took her. From islamqa.info, the mother has more right to custody of her child, whether it is a boy or girl, so long as she does not remarry. From alislam.org, Fatma, considering both parents were qualified religiously, morally and financially, and each parent wanted custody of the children, how would Islam normally deal with such cases? Saeed, presuming that both parents wanted custody of the children and both were qualified in the areas you mentioned, the father would attain financial and custodial rights of the children. There are many reasons as to why Islam has held the father to be the legal guardian of the children, the most critical of which is remarrying. In most cases, after couples divorce, they remarry. The chances of a man remarrying with children are much better than a woman with children. From darulifdaye.com, the right of custody will be taken away from the mother if she 1. Leaves Islam, 2. Openly indulges in sins such as adultery and there is a fear of the child being affected, 3. She does not attend to the child due to her leaving the house very often, 4. She marries a non-relative, stranger, to the child, by which the child may be affected, 5. She demands payment for the upbringing of the child if there is another woman to raise the child without remuneration. So, after the babies are taken from their mother, who are they given to? This is the precedence. 1. Maternal grandmother and on up. 2. Paternal grandmother and on up. 3. Full sisters. 4. Maternal half-sisters. 5. Paternal half-sisters. 6. Maternal aunts. 7. Paternal aunts. 8. Father. 9. Paternal grandfather. 10. Real brother. 11. Paternal brother. 12. Maternal brother. So, does mother know best? Apparently not, for Allah knows best.